have a surgical concept.
She might be saying goodbye to her gallbladder.
Yeah.
We're live, Anna.
Hi!
Hi!
Okay.
You're gonna cut that part out.
No more gruesome medical stuff.
Unless the mad scientist comes back, but he's off for the day. So he's recuperating in his room along with your ethermancer, who is also going, I am so drained.
The ape man is a
Yeah.
little,
The ape man of Zanzibar. So welcome back to the adventures of the Airship Gallivant.
woohoo!
So where last we left off, you guys rocked the Casbah in the fighting circuit.
Yeah.
You made it back to your stall as your captain comes walking up. You showered yourselves in tons of money, to which the engineer was planning lots
still
and lots
shopping.
of upgrades.
We're shopping for
We're
good
shopping
stuff.
for
Yep.
upgrades.
I
so
wanted-
do you have the upgrades?
Sometime before we actually do that next fight, okay, I want to make sure that they know that he's not diving for the next one. Unless we get paid.
They would have to pay through the nose.
That's a very, very good good point that you're letting them know that it's not a can fight.
Yeah.
So modifying your drink for prices.
So that was the last bit from.
Okay, so you guys have spent some time recuperating.
Well, I guess since they're shopping and the other two boys are useless, I'm guarding.
Okay. Well, we can just say they're watching the ship since they're not here.
Okay.
You can put them
Do
to
you want
work.
to come shopping with us? I mean,
We're 400
Sure,
shy
I'll go
of
shopping.
being able to get a hyperdrive to
You're how many shy?
6,000.
400?
Yeah.
Do we need to give any of the money that we have earned on the side to our patron?
Well, see, this is where you want someone to negotiate.
Yeah, so, if we
You
could
have
get
to
them
try.
to, we have $6,000 credit, 6,000 credits for reserved for Gallivant. So, a hyperdrive traditionally costs 6,000 for ether drive, excuse me, an ether drive.
Shave that serial number off.
Yeah, usually costs 6,400. So if somebody wants to negotiate a better price,
Okay.
this upgraded, it increases our vessel's speed.
To be fair, I negotiated it from 5,000 to 6,000, but I'll give you 400 of my money.
You mean you don't want to haggle with the engine guys?
Oh, I thought the 5,000 to 6,000
No,
was the hack.
that was haggling
No.
for money. This
This
is
is
haggling.
always-
This is haggling with the merchant
Oh,
who buy
okay,
the
sorry.
parts.
I
Yeah.
thought the 5,000 to 6,000 was haggling with the merchants.
Okay,
No,
so.
that was haggling with
so
getting
is
the
that
cash.
what-
Or
Or
do
is
we
it just
want
the
to-
hardware, is that the
Yeah.
installation too?
That-
That's
that's
just the hardware?
that's
This
the
is
hardware. Would you do me a favor here, turn off the fan?
Yes.
We'll say goodbye to the fan for a little bit because it might be too noisy.
It's like, cause it's either that or we
I
upgrade
have
our
no
weapons.
problem negotiating for that. Versus
Okay.
what?
Or do we
So-
wanna upgrade weapons instead? Do we want speed or weapons? We don't have a whole heck of a lot of gunnery.
My first initial, okay, well, how much is the gunnery?
Well, it depends.
Depends on what kind of
We
weapon you
have, which one do we typically currently have?
Currently, you have the light blaster cannon.
Okay, and that's
The light
4,000.
ether cannon.
So we can get a heavy one. We can
I would
upgrade-
rather have speed than armament
I
at this
think
point.
speed is the
Speed,
better
that's
buy.
what that's what I was
So
thinking too.
we don't need our old engine, do we?
So we can sell the old engine, trade it in for an upgrade, reduce the cost of the engine, perhaps get both.
Or keep the old engine for parts.
Or do we want to keep the old engine for parts?
You're
Are the parts compatible?
Yes.
scrap it.
It
So
will be-
I would say we keep the engine for parts.
How big is
But
the
that's-
engine and how much cargo room is it
It'll
going to
it'll be
take up?
minimal. She'll be able to break it down to components that
So,
won't take
because
up
we don't need the
cargo
block.
space. Yeah.
Okay.
She'll be able to strip it down for parts.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
I think we should still be able to sell the block for scrap.
But see, I can use bits and pieces to make other things.
Unless the alchemist wants to keep the big giant piece of metal to do things with.
Could be.
cause I
We'll
can,
keep it for now, we can always sell
I
it.
Okay.
can,
Or drop it on the head of an enemy
I
as
can
we go
trim
by.
it down
I
into
can-
pieces.
$400 on 6,000, I should be able to do this.
I think you can.
Versus-
Now, when you go to now, of course, let's get our points
Now,
out there.
the thing that you
One
want to
from
do
me.
though, when you present this, I'm not gonna haggle, you should basically do it as the I'm not gonna haggle because I do not have to.
Okay, so when you go up to the shop,
It's
you
not
see-
because I'm a boob and I don't know what's going on, but I choose not to because it is not worth my effort.
So you guys all go to the shop and you see this beautiful, huge line of warehouses where they're
I'm
crafting
gonna try to make
engines
sure
from
that
the
no
ground
one's
up.
following us. Because I'm
Okay.
a little paranoid tonight, I
Okay,
don't know why.
go ahead and give me perception as you're looking at this line of shops where they're engineering these engines. And of course, you immediately whisper.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Bronchitis. I need a yellow and a green, please. May I borrow your dice? Against.
It's going to be against 2 purple. So you immediately go out there, and of course, one of the guys runs down the foreman and comes over, and he looks immaculately dressed.
You do not see the people following us.
Before I even walk in,
You don't see anything.
I don't see the people not
She
following
is
us.
a failure
smart.
and
You are.
2 disadvantage.
I am very distracted by the pretty people on the street in Berlin.
Whiff of opium came across your nose.
I'm not an addict, I'm a loser. Jesus. I do like pretty
this
people.
is to make me a better negotiator.
Okay.
Oh, see, I have this compulsion flaw.
Okay,
Just
so
to
what
wander
was this
off.
for?
To make me a better negotiator.
Okay.
It's primal.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're buffing yourself with your magic. Okay, I was wondering what the roll was. That's what I was asking.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So all of a sudden,
I have this compulsion flaw, so I've just wandered off,
oh god. Okay.
following something pretty and shiny.
Okay, so we
So,
have
I
2
think that-
successes, and this take each other out. So
2
threat and
successes.
advantage. So 2 successes. So immediately, as you're walking, your primal magic is like Rico Suave off you. All of a sudden, your walk gets a little more confident. Your back a little straighter. Your hair wafts backwards nicely. So immediately you have this gleam in your eye, like you've got the total Playboy look going, just by pure body language.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does the spell translate to buffing you?
You guys need to send one.
It adds 1 more to my negotiation.
Okay?
Well, I'm with him
Gives
because
you
he's
this-
negotiating my price.
makes me-
I'm,
It makes
Tech
them
advisor.
realize that. Oh, plus, do they know anybody in Spain?
Portugal.
Portugal.
They actually
Spain or
do
Portugal?
not. But if you show around the card,
Uh-huh.
they might recognize from the group of families that run the air spires.
For an extra blue
And for an extra blue.
versus.
Okay, and it's gonna be against a red and a purple. Because this guy's negotiation is what he does.
Okay.
Ah, I was gonna reach for it if you didn't.
One
So-
more yellow.
Here you go.
There you go.
So he immediately, one of the runners goes to grab the boss, and you can see that in these stalls, because there's like 100 stalls of these warehouses with the roll-up doors, they're building 100 engines at the same time, and you can see that they're slightly different. So they come from like smaller models up to the huge Hindenburg-sized models.
Is this the place we wanted to go? Because we could go someplace else.
we'll start here.
My engineer
Okay.
and I want to upgrade the ship. You've heard of it. It's the Gallivant.
The Gallivant. What class airship is this Gallivant?
It's this.
And you basically give him,
Yeah.
you show him your
I have no
schematics.
idea what the-
It's a Gallivant
But
class.
I do it like really, like we're talking Kaylee-esque when she's talking to all those
So
guys.
you're throwing all the
at
techno babble
I was
out,
like,
and you're
yeah.
like throwing shop talk out.
Oh yeah,
Okay, that's gonna give you an
Really
additional
smart.
blue dice, by the way.
really sounding
Ah, the Fraulein knows what she's talking about.
damn right. I do.
Are you looking for a job, perhaps?
Not at present, but I'll keep you in mind, depending on your goods.
Ah, the
I don't
Fraulein
take
is
what
loyal.
just anyone.
The Fräulein is loyal and knows what she's talking
It's the reason why she's on my ship. All of our crew are top notch.
about. Okay, so you guys start. He busts out the comparative. You tell what
I
engine
know
block
what
you've
you
got.
got.
And he whips out this clipboard and just goes through the different model engine types. And he's like, and this is the one that you're looking for. And how much are we looking to spend today?
You said it's normally 6,400?
6,400.
So do you want to do this or you want to roll?
You can roll.
Start it.
I have faith in your roll. That's interesting. So.
This is this and this, right?
Okay, yep, those are advantages. The starburst is a success and that's a success. So you have 2 fails and 2 successes. So it's
don't
a
those
wash.
cancel out
They
the?
do. But you have
No, he's got-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 advantages.
Okay.
So you have 6 advantages. So your negotiation fails of the trying
I
to.
thought 6 advantages could turn into 2 successes.
No, unfortunately,
Oh.
advantage. There's a
Oh, that's only for fighting.
yeah. There's
Okay.
an actual talent you can get to turn
Okay.
advantages into successes, but it's like a horrible exchange rate.
Okay.
So you guys are trying to negotiate down to 6,000, and he's just like, 9. I cannot give you this value that you would like to give. I wish I could give, but you have 6 advantages, which is a hell of a lot. How would you like to use those?
Give me your advantage.
Well, he's got 6. He's got a whole bunch to spend.
Yeah. Can I have 6 blue dice? And I'm like, and I'll just like, look, it only costs this much to do this. That's us. And if you retrofit this way, it's like you are making so much more money off of this one engine. It's like if you were to get just 400 less, you'd still be making bank.
Well, what does that have to
Do we need this immediately?
No, God, no. Gallivant is.
How about you give us
shapen.
your price and we pick it up in a while? Because obviously you've got these that are probably sold right now, but if you put us in your production line and know that you have one sold in the future, well, obviously you'd be able to sell it for less.
This is true. What port of call are you going to next?
Oh, you see, that's the problem. We are free traders, and we don't always know where we're going to be. We do know that we're going to be back here in Oktoberfest.
Ah, the Oktoberfest. So that could be something of use. So you don't know what port you may be going to next?
Depends upon where the money is. I mean, if there
Do
was a
you need us to
reason,
transport some
I was gonna say-
engines for
if there
you?
was a
I was gonna
reason
say,
for
it's
us
like-
to go someplace, then
we-
maybe
we
we'd
do
be able to
take
do
commission.
something. And we do take commissions.
Say, drop another. Okay, off there we can deliver or pick up anything you need.
This is a good thing. So I will make you a deal. If you offer to do 1 cargo drop for us in a route that you are already traveling, so there's no overhead for the roundabout course, as well as if your mechanic would be assisting on the engine retrofits.
Oh, you darn well better believe aren't let you touch my ship without my supervision.
So perhaps this could be a good training chance for our young up-and-coming engineers to deal with someone who is both competent and energetic.
And you would knock how much off the price?
I would be willing to take 10% off the price.
That's only 600.
And 40. That drops you below the 6,000 you're looking for.
25%.
This number I cannot do.
Okay, this is something that.
If we're doing the cargo job, all of that is on us. The
Right.
fuel,
Well,
We
okay,
don't charge
do-
less than 1,000 for cargo delivery anyways. So you're making out ahead.
Well, this is only if you are going to a location that we could use at the time.
Name the location. We would be there as long as it's within 2 days travel.
So you'd only be willing to travel 2 days.
You'd be
For
surprised how
25
far we can go
For
in 2
25%
days.
off.
Unfortunately, the best deal I could give you is 12%.
For 2 days.
For cargo within 2 days. Yeah.
For legal cargo.
Excuse me, sir. All of our engines are only of the best legal variety. We do not do illegal modifications.
Absolutely, but you would not believe the type of scoundrels that we run into that would take a situation like this and presume that we would take illegal goods.
I
I am a
apologize.
merchant. I need to ask these things.
I apologize. I was thinking you were making assumptions that we would do anything below board.
No.
We are only on the up and up. Our airships only go up and up. We don't go anything below the board. So the Prussian Empire does not deal well with those who do illegal finagling things. So will you accept 12% off? Honestly, I believe this is the best price I can offer you.
I will need to double check with
Because
my
remember,
captain.
technically you guys are already getting 10% off because everything's cheaper here.
Right. I will need to double check with the captain to make
But
sure
then
that we
that-
haven't gotten hired.
So it's not.
No, you remember you added it to the money as opposed to
Oh,
taking it
okay.
off the price.
I'll need to double check with the captain to make sure we can do this. But
Is that woman that wandered off your captain? Is he?
I'm nowhere around, this has taken a while.
There was
Yes.
a nice lady with you, but she wandered off.
yes, we'll need to go back and get her.
She is not special, is she? Do we have to worry about her around the machines?
Oh no.
That is good. So here is my card, and he basically writes down his card, the price, everything, basically like a little pseudo receipt, and he hands it to you. You show that to any of my men. If I am not here, they will set you up. Will you be planning on bringing the airship here, or do you need the engineers to go to your ship?
They have a docking spire, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We could bring a ship here.
Excellent. I must get back to work, as you can see, and he points to this beautiful giant, it looks like a flying yacht airship, and he's like, I must get back to my first love. Her maiden voyage will be in 2 weeks.
Very nice.
Thank you, son. Thank you. And he snap click of the heels, and he walks off, as his little attaché follows behind him.
So we need to find the captain.
Yeah.
Okay.
My captain.
So, Captain, where did you wander off
Wherever the pretty thing that distracted me is taking me, because, I have this flaw.
to? What's his name?
Who the hell knows at this point?
Okay, so was it a person? Was it a thing? Was it some
could be a person.
animatronic thing?
Probably not, that's her gig.
Okay. Okay, so as you were walking through the crowd and you're looking to make sure you're not being tailed, telling your crew to go ahead, immediately you recognize a hairline that you remember from the fights. Your dear gentleman suitor with his little attachés.
Is that what they're calling?
And the person that's with him that you don't recognize it almost looks like a 10-year younger version of him, only better looking.
Like a son, perhaps?
Like a son, perhaps.
Not at 10 years. Either that or he was awfully precocious.
Or Dad had lots of, procedures done. Ether magic. Try out. So is that what catches your eye?
Probably. I'll just focus there for now.
Okay, and basically as you come kind of nonchalantly up behind them as they're talking, basically you see that he's talking about taking out this entire section of the street of shops and rebuilding this for a new coliseum.
In time for the... It's not possible.
Oktoberfest? No.
It's probably not possible, but this is what he would like his son to do. We could
For the
have,
fall.
What type of other, and they're all like tech shops and stuff? Or-
well, they're all like just mom and pop shops, clothing, toys, candy.
it's gonna be much better off to build new on virgin ground, because that way you don't have to tear down something before you can rebuild it.
Did you say this?
I do say that,
Okay,
because I
so
have a flaw.
So all of a sudden they're talking business. The three gals are just hanging on to them, you know, giving them attention.
Because if this is all mom and pop shops, also the roads are very, very narrow and
Yes,
twisty.
very twisty.
You're much,
cobbled
much better
roads.
off to build really on virgin territory, where you can control the access to it, and you're not like, oh, it's terrible up here.
And then immediately the two of them stop talking, and then like, in unison they both turn around and look back at you. My dear Fräulein, you appear the most amazing places. Come, and he offers to take your hand to come look at and he starts to share his idea with you, tearing down these buildings and building a bigger coliseum that has more security, that basically the police won't enter because it'll be private residence. What were you saying about virgin territory?
Again, you'd have to, first of all, purchase all of this land that already has a development on it, so it is more expensive than just bare dirt, and you're going to have to tear down everything before you can even start building.
What would you suggest?
Do I have a map of Berlin in my head?
Sure. You've seen it from the sky.
Okay, so go through the Rolodex and see if there's a decent flat spot that isn't built up.
Okay, go ahead.
That's close enough to say
Give
mass
me
transportation,
a
that it's easily
navigation
accessible.
roll.
A
'Cause that
navigation
so sounds like a navigation.
Also could be like birds of call. I have 2 yellows and 2. I suck at navigation.
And it's
Two
gonna
yellows
be
does not suck.
Two
2
yellows
yellows
does
and 2
not
greens,
suck.
but I
That is like a killer
roll
roll.
terribly. Your dice hate me.
it's
These
gonna be
dice
against
just
3
dice.
purple. I'll have to get an extra. So we can just give her some dice. 'Cause I have plenty of dice. Bag or dice.
Yeah, it is getting to a case that when
And I will give you a blue because you have flown over this area before.
Can she get another blue because he likes her?
Maybe, are you willing to play out that angle?
Not to sell him on a bad side. I want to give him a good side.
Okay.
You know, maybe try charm once he says, no, we should build new. Oh God, please.
Hey, your dice kind of like ya. Oh.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
So,
So basically she got 4, oh no,
2 advantage.
2 advantage, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so but with the Portland, no successes and, but, okay,
Mhm.
so, but with that thing, it's like, I don't know particularly where you should do this, but I bet XYZ surveyor would be able to help you with that, or XYZ company, or XYZ architects.
yeah, for your 2 advantage, I'll give you that you're basically selling him, it's the concept you're selling him on, not the location.
Correct.
So he is like, my Fräulein, you are absolutely correct. I mean, I was fearing there would have to be a fire sale or perhaps deal with the local people, and you can see he just like wipes his hand on some dirt when he goes people and touches one by accident, and he just gets this like disgust look in his face.
Well, the problem with the fire sale is the smell afterwards.
Ah, you do have a point. I mean, I know I could pay a few airship pilots to drop some incendiaries accidentally cause fires to happen.
But then you have fewer people that'd be willing to pay for a ticket to the
Well,
fight.
it's the smell.
So, come back, are you free to come back to our establishment? Or are you doing any shopping today?
Well, I'm certainly not doing any shopping today.
Okay, so, do one of you wanna do a perception or assist each other on a perception to do the best combination of dice?
Have we found her?
That's what you're gonna be doing a perception
I
for.
wonder if
Okay,
I
so
have 2 green and 1 yellow for my perception.
then you do it because I only have 2 green.
Okay, so you definitely are, you've got the sharper eyes of the pair.
Then
And it's
1
gonna be
blue
against
for her
2,
help.
yeah, she is assisting, so 1 blue against 2 purple. Cause it's not like the captain's actively hiding from you guys.
No.
But you know what? Go and turn one of those purple red just because something interesting might happen. Cause that's what the points are for. Oh, it wasn't that interesting. So
two
two
advantage?
successes, those are successes,
Oh.
and these are your advantages, and those are.
I don't think he and I ever exchanged names.
No, you
So
didn't.
basically you got 2 successes.
So
Oh, okay.
immediately, yeah, these basically take each other out because this is the advantage and this is the disadvantage or
Oh,
threats.
okay, I keep on forgetting.
Yeah,
I
it's,
thought those
that's
were
the
the
success. These are the failures. Those are the
Now, you see, that
successes.
does not make sense, because the round thing should be the round things,
Uh-huh.
and the spiky thing should be the spiky things.
Are you
But I'm
kidding?
trying to reverse that.
That's why I like Star Wars guys because that's a success and that's a failure,
Okay.
and that's the
So I
threat.
got 2 successes.
Yep, 2 successes. So immediately, you all of a sudden, you guys are scanning the crowd, going, "Captain, Captain."
Captain!
Immediately, your eyes are
How
drawn
tall
to
is your character?
Regal.
Russian royalty tended to be short, didn't they?
But this
There
is
were
an
all-
alternate reality
there
where
were
food
all-
is brought into the royals.
There's also like the Russian ideal.
I think you're the Russian ideal.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, you
So
notice like
6-footish.
you're scanning the
So
crowd
you're
and you
taller
see
than me.
a couple beautiful women that causes your eyes to slow down with the beautiful women because that's just who you are. And then immediately you see your captain talking to 2 gentlemen.
Ah, there she is. Follow me.
As all of a sudden she's almost getting ready to walk away with him, it looks like.
Okay. Captain!
Captain, oh Captain.
I turn. Are you done?
Yes, we need to talk to you
Yes,
about
you
a
know.
possible shipment.
Okay.
Okay, I'll say we have
Excuse us.
So what is your deception, by the way?
deception.
Deception.
Deception is
least
under
all
social
Yellow, 1
skills.
green. Or no, 2 green, 1
No,
yellow.
social skills, there's a deception in the middle part of social
Yeah,
skills.
I got it.
Yep. 2 green,
2
1.
green, 1 yellow.
Okay. So can I see 2 purple guys real quick?
See?
As the gentleman she's talking to gives you kind of this double take look. Oh! Despair. He does not recognize the Otto von. That's what I was looking for, to see if he'd recognize you from your exploits. So,
Well, actually, there should have been an extra black in there because I was deliberately, when I was Autobahn, deliberately
Hemming it up.
my voice.
yeah, that's why I wanted your deception skill, so that plays off how much you played your character up.
Okay.
So, despair. He has, and he immediately looks at you and says, is this your husband?
God, no.
I apologize if there was any offense.
I completely missed the laughing and I said, oh God, no.
Obviously, this cannot be your daughter, for you are not old enough to have a daughter.
Daughter. It's not.
So my dear, please introduce me to your compatriots.
Goddamn if I hadn't forgotten
Peter, but I don't know how you actually want to introduce them.
him. I'll introduce them, you as, these are members of my crew, Peter, and what's your first name?
My real name is Esme.
Peter and Esme.
He offers his hand, good solid handshake. He gives you the open hand, big delicious kissy.
Right.
And then
And I
he
got
just,
just my overalls. I'm like, tip my hat.
So if you'll excuse us.
oh, and he gives you this like pause look, like, oh, you're going with them instead?
Business.
Oh, well, it was an honor to see you again, my dear. If you have any suggestions, and he kind of like ham at one of the ladies, and she like immediately opens up her little purse and pulls out one of his cards for you.
Oh, calling card. Do I have any calling cards?
Yes, you probably do. You're a captain.
Do I have them with me?
What captain
Oh,
would you
yeah.
have one?
And he looks and says, the Gallivant. It's a strong name for a ship that has a strong and beautiful captain. So I will definitely have to call upon you, especially next time that you're in port.
My little silly absolutely.
And his son does this whole uncomfortable, oh, yes. And he hands the card, she puts in his little billfold that she has, and then we must head off. And they basically start heading off. Okay?
Okay, so what is this about cargo?
Okay, so basically we were able to get
12%.
No, 12%?
12% was the lowest he.
Okay, well, you were able to get a
$1,500
discount, you were able to get a
off
discount based on.
for doing a legal 2-day trip for them.
Okay, well, I guess actually probably the most efficient way to do this is to figure out where they need the ship and get extra cargo to go there instead.
And remember,
It's one
he did
step.
tell you when you're going on your way, it's not a trip just for them, so.
Right.
Right, I understand that, but in order to get their cargo where
Right.
they're going, because there's cargo going everywhere all the time, so we will find something that needs to go there. Or we will figure out what that port means
Right.
that this port can offer one way or the other.
Is there like, because of course, during this, altered timeline, have they invented telegraph, I assume they at least have telegraphs,
yeah.
and they have at least, if not,
Basic
Some-
shortwave radios.
and they're, so, okay.
Well, I assume there's
It's
also like a
telegraph.
job port at the port.
So
Yeah.
why don't we go and talk, do you want me to go and talk to the engineer?
That is why we got.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
By the way, now that we've already negotiated this, roughly how much does a regular airship of our size get for a cargo haul?
Usually it's anywhere 1,000 to 2,000
That's
per
what I say,
run,
minimum
if you're
1,000.
filling
Oh,
your
okay.
cargo hold.
Oh,
Or if you're doing something super nefarious.
Okay.
So that's based on if someone's hiring us to do a
Right.
run for them as opposed to us
A
speculating on our
partial-
own cargo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And spitballing and seeing what the market will be when you get there.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so we go back to the.
You guys heading back to the airship?
No, we're gonna go back to
We're
the,
back to the engine.
yeah,
Okay.
and I walk up to him and I introduce myself as Captain Rowntree of the Gallivant.
Welcome, Fräulein, welcome. So we are here to get a new engine for your beast.
That is what I
Thanks.
understand, so.
He's a beauty.
Where do you need something to go?
Well, currently we don't need anything moved, but we were just asking where your itinerary would have you traveling, and if you were going somewhere that we would need supplies dropped off, that we could piggyback on your run. Now, your negotiator established that it would have to be something within 2 days, but once we get the engine modifications done, 2 days is less of a limitation than it used to be for your ship.
Okay, so from then, what I understand of the agreement is when we are in port, we will connect with you to see if you have any cargo going our way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So if you would like to bring your airship in for repairs, we can go ahead and start immediately. Your engineer was going to assist and oversee the operation to make sure it was done to her expertise.
Well, satisfaction.
So if you'd like to just bring your airship, we will be parking her in the Magenta Bay, and you see there's a warehouse where the roof is all different colors, and the roofs open up so the airship can just land and then the doors close.
fancy.
Only the best. Our workers shall not be expected to toil out in the open air. They are kept cool with the best ether condensers to cool off your airship and make things as comfortable as possible.
Every time they say ether, I think of the laughing gas.
Say Aether. It's-
Okay, so shall we bring the ship in?
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so of course you guys get back to the ship. Your mad scientists and your ethermancer are both out cold, recuperating from the strain of what they've been through the previous
I
night.
kick them because one of them was supposed to be watching.
They watched until they fell asleep in the chair.
So I kick whoever's supposed to be watching.
Okay. So, and by the way,
Before we actually go to the magenta hangar, is there anything that shouldn't be on this ship when we actually take it where strangers
No.
are?
No, I
we
think we
got
offloaded
the,
everything
Yeah.
except for maybe the mad scientist lab, but you can just close his door.
and lock it.
Kick him the rest of the way in the room and close the door and lock it.
Okay.
So immediately, by the way, when you get there, there is a telegraph waiting for you in the ship. Someone can like slip it through the crack of the doorway. And it is for you, from Hilda. Do you open it in front of the ladies, or do you wait till you're in private to open it?
I have many secrets, but this is not one of them.
Oh. So you of course split open the telegraph, and it just says
Is it stinky?
it's pretty like perfume.
So it stinks good?
Yeah, in beautiful pink ink. 2P, and it's just the letter P in big, beautiful scrolling caps. It has been painful moments that I have been separated from you, and I must speak to you about a most urgent subject. Come to me at your quickest convenience. I will only be allowed to be so patient before I can hold you in my arms again, and possibly speak of going on a trip together. Love, admiration, XOXOXO, big beautifully scrolled H.
How long does it take to get an engine repaired?
It's not repaired, they're
Replace
replacing
it.
it. It would take at least a day.
Unless you roll really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
we're
will be
talking day, not like week or month.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh!
That's the
Days
beauty.
should
This
be
is this
good.
Prussian. This is Prussian expedience here. That's why this place is so.
And I'll be
well.
overseeing
I'm
it.
thinking an engine overhaul on a car takes a week.
No, they're basically going to yoke yours out, put that one in, and strip the parts and put it in a box. And say, here you go. We're talking like a dozen engineers going off on it.
All under my supervision, of course.
Of course.
Okay, well, let's get the ship
So,
over.
while you guys are doing that, I will go see Hilda and see if she wants our money or if we can get money or time from her.
She wants our money or my fight. Okay, so you guys are gonna take the ship over there?
Yes.
Okay, pretty easy. It
Do
was.
you want to Jean Kempo for piloting? Or are you just gonna give it to
I'll
us?
just give it to you
Okay.
guys because literally this shop is made for you to just go up, straight down the boulevard, and down. And then our dear friend is going to be running to his girlfriend's chateau.
And I'm going to run the rest.
As the engineer is going to go check the engine.
I'm gonna
I'm
make
gonna,
sure.
I'm gonna kind of wander around and kind of get a feel for what Berlin has too much of.
It has too much of manpower and masculinity, even in the feminine sense.
Oh, 10% ether tech.
Yeah, 10% off an ether deck if you want to buy some ether stuff. So if you want an ether
I
opium pipe, you
No.
can buy one for cheap.
No. I'm
Well,
not
no, it
talking
means
about
it
for
means
personal
if we,
things.
it means
I'm
if we
talking,
sell something someplace else, it's an instant 10% profit.
except we can't buy retail at that point. Because then it's only 10%.
Okay, so are you going to
But we
take...
could get something closer.
Yeah, basically that's why I'm trying to wander around, trying to get a feel for Berlin. If Berlin has an excess of, that they might want to unload a cargo hold full of, or 3 or 4 items.
That's a hard one. Depends on where you want to go.
Well, I'm working it the other way. What does Berlin have a lot of? And once they have a lot, once I know what they have a lot of, I'm
What
going to
does Berlin
see.
generally export?
A lot of hard spirits and finished ether tech. Like not raw materials, but the finished actual devices. And you're seeing some ridiculous ether tech devices for like stupid mundane things.
You know, that's probably gonna
Like
go.
ether tech hair straighteners, ether tech cigars and lighters and cigarette extensions that do cool things like you're inhaling the smoke, there's an empty space because it's like ether magnetics holding it together, and you see the smoke swirl into the piece so it looks like ridiculously complicated and fancy.
So, like I said, I'm just trying to get a feel of what we can buy cheap here that we
Probably
can sell
luxury
for a
goods as
profit
well.
there.
Lots of finished product. So are you taking a cab or like gondola type of deal? Like the person cab or the ether engine cab? Or even just like a little airship? They have little putt-putt taxis.
I'll take one of the putt-putt taxis.
Okay. So it'll cost you like 5 script, nothing major, you know, just pocket change. And they basically ask where you'd like to go.
But before I do that, make sure, of course, that I am dapper and cleaned and shaved and
Very proper.
good. Proper
Okay,
suit,
clean yourself up.
product up.
Okay. So you're all primed and ready to go. You tell them to hold the cabbie for you so it's ready and waiting when you come off the airship. These two are ready to the second you step off the gangplank, it's taken off and heading off to the engine bay. And as soon as you get out there, your cabbie's ready for you. He's all dressed to the T's, you know. He's expecting a good ride and basically get you in the cabbie.
We might go back to Portugal and see if we can get ourselves a cabin boy.
We know a volunteer.
Right. That's why I'm thinking going all the way to Portugal might be beneficial.
Give Don Escobar Jr. a second shot. For the honor of the Escobars! For the honor of the falling Escobars. It's their new circus name.
Hello,
So-
my name is Inigo Escobar. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
So immediately the cab stops off and you can just see she's like immediately opens the windows and looks down at you and goes, my darling, and she basically kind of like, you notice basically she's looking around and then she reaches into her cleavage, whips out a handkerchief and throws it from the second story window down to you. Come up, the door is unlocked for you, my darling.
Oh, my sweet. And then I'll recite something like from current play, current poetry, you know.
Trendy poem.
Trendy poems.
Okay. Oh, and she like, you know, just throws her like super overacting, super dramatic, flings herself back in there to you know, you guess, meet you there. And of course, you know, when you go there, the front door is locked. I mean, when you hold this door, it's solidly locked.
Okay. Was there a key in the handkerchief? No.
You know what? You noticed that when you touch the hanky, and you realize that hanky came down pretty straight on to you instead of like flutter.
Actually, you said this was an ether car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go back into the ether car.
You wave the cabbie to stop. Okay.
Give him an extra credit.
Okay.
Have him take me to the window.
Ooh. Okay, and the driver's like, yeah, that's gonna cost a little bit more money. I'm not supposed to do stuff like that anymore.
Oh, I already gave him.
Okay.
Give him an extra tip.
He's basically wanting like 100 credits to do this because he got in trouble for doing something like this already.
100 credits?
What's the fine, dude?
Last time I did this, I broke a balcony. Are you willing to do it? The things you do for love?
Things you do for love.
Here's the key.
He's willing to do it if you're willing to pay him to do it.
Okay. Can I? But you don't understand. 180, 100 is just ridiculous.
You gonna try and negotiate him?
Charming.
Okay. It's gonna be
This is
against
for
one
love.
purple. He's an easy touch. One purple. He's just a put up cab boy.
Plus, he wants to do it. I
Yeah.
know he wants to do it.
Okay, so
Punches
you
of-
succeed. Take away that advantage. So you have 2 successes and 2 advantages. So he'll be willing to do it for 20 scripts.
Absolutely.
He's like, okay, you got me. I really want to do it. And immediately she gives you this, as you're going down to the cabbie, she's like, bah, 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 and then she sees you get in the cab, and you almost see her jaw drop when you get into the cab, and you're talking to the cabbie. She's like, and she's getting mad, hitting the windowsill, as all of a sudden the air gondola starts to rise and come up over the wall, and then just the boop, 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 towards the window. And then we're gonna see how well he drives this cab up to the window. Okay, I stalled long enough if you wanted to flip a light side. So,
He does very well.
yeah,
Okay. And
he has 1 success. All of a sudden the cab goes blue, 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 and for a second there you think he's going too fast, and she's looking at you like, what are you doing, you madman? As the gondola goes blue, 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 and right up against the windowsill. So you can just open the door and step in or step out.
In and say, darling,
And she gets
I am here.
she throws herself on you, and you realize that she's just wearing a very skimpy bathrobe.
And I am looking around to see whether she's actually in threat or there's other people that are threatening her.
No, there doesn't seem to be any threat, but give me a perception.
Okay.
And I will give you a blue die for your height advantage in the gondola. But it's going to be against 2 red and a purple.
2 red and a purple?
It's almost like there
Flip
might
side,
be something.
flip one.
Yeah.
Your team is on your side. They want to see what happens for love.
Well, we know what happens from love.
You have to do a lot of perception rolls. Oh!
Oh,
So that's 1 triumph and 2 disasters.
1 triumph and 2 despairs. Wow, that's magical.
But what other, but you also got
A shit ton of-
4 successes
and an advantage.
and an advantage.
So you immediately swing her in your arms, and when you do, you scan the horizon.
Okay, because the reason why I came up here was that I actually expected that she was like under threat, and there were like people down there that were gonna like jump
Exactly,
me.
yeah.
So
When you go up there, immediately as you scan around the building and inside the building, you can see in the building, she's got her chair propped against the doors from the inside.
okay, I read her right.
And you notice that when you looked around the fence line around the property, there
Yes.
seems to be 3 vehicles parked in the shrubbery that seem to be like almost station wagony for carrying quite a few people.
Oh, fuck the rest of this. My love, I cannot stand you in this room. Come with me, we shall come back. Drag her, go back into the airship, throw him $100, and say, onward, good man!
And as you do that, because that's the triumph, is you like sweep her, you pull her through the window because you're like, you're in imminent danger. You read the look in her eyes and the panic while she was fearful that you were leaving her. You notice on the ground that one of the vehicles, there's someone ready to take a pot shot at you. And all of a sudden, you're hearing the door getting kicked against. Because they came in the back way when they saw you taking an airship into the property.
Faster, faster.
Faster, faster, much go faster!
So first we're going to deal with the pot shot that's coming from the bushes as the podunk henchmen are getting their vehicle ready. It's not going to be the best shots because it's at a bad distance, but they're going to aim. As they're aiming for her, which means I have to put black dice in there because she has cover. So we have 2 successes and 2 threat. So for the 2 threat, they're going to take strain, which equals wounds for them. But all of a sudden, as you pull her through the window, you hear the crack of a rifle go off.
Oh dear.
And all of a sudden, as you pull her, you realize as you just drape her across your lap, holding her looking, you just realize that on her thigh, she has a wound that's just immediately her robe that covers only just barely her thigh, because it's a sexy robe, just starts instantly saturating with blood. What is that?
I'm trying to get the thing to come off.
Oh,
So
you're
while you're
wanting me to
chatting-
open your case.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm like, which, use some words. So as you pull her in, you immediately, she looks in shock at you as you look down at her leg and realize that she's soaking wet with blood. And as you're pulling away safely, you notice that the door explodes in splinters. And there's 4 very large gentlemen pushing their way in armor with guns. Looks like they have Gatling pistols.
Aren't you armed?
I have a sidearm. I have a gentleman's sidearm that probably would not do well against people in armor.
As just at that very moment, thanks to your triumph, your air gondola takes off like nobody's fucking business. All of a sudden, you can see this kid looks and realizes the gunshot, that wasn't the engine backfiring. Oh my god! And he just like rips his engine off, and let's see what happens here. As he is bolting. Oh, you roll. Gondola Boy rolls a triumph himself.
Dude.
So that's good because everything else is a wash. So just a triumph. Just a triumph.
Just a triumph.
Just a
Oh,
triumph.
is that all?
Ah.
So immediately he gets the idea that we need to go down. We need to go like 5 minutes ago, but nobody's invented the ether time machine yet.
Yes.
And he
Yeah,
basically
he just tried really hard.
he hits the gas. Here you go.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And you guys go ripping off out of there so badly there's a whooshing, sucking sound from the curtains going flapping out the window from your departure. And he's like angling up as high. I mean, this thing only goes like 100 feet max.
Okay.
But it's going and it's going straight back to your airship. He's like, what's going on? And she just looks at you and just goes, and collapses in your arms. Because, you know, that's the other despair, is her passing out in your arms.
Okay.
As we get screen swipe. As you guys are off at the engine shop.
Tell the guy, don't go back to the docks. They won't be there.
What?
Then go to and then give him the repair shop.
The repair shop. Is that the one on the east side or the west side of town?
Magenta roof.
The different colored roofs.
Roofs.
I'll give him the name of the business. You should know them. They're pretty.
He's frazzled
He's
right now,
frazzled,
so
okay.
he's like, airship repair station, which one?
The caution one.
If you can give me a perception or a lore roll instead of him rolling. You probably want to roll instead of him.
I can definitely roll.
To give an example of your very good directions to him because he's in a panic right now. Or you can do leadership if you have leadership. You can do leadership to get him to get his shit under control right now.
Okay. I have 4 greens for leadership. I don't actually have that yet.
Okay, it's going to
But
be
he also
2
have-
purple if you want to do leadership.
But I also have the ability to remove black, I think. Kill with kindness.
Oh, good. That won't work with this time because he won't give you any blacks.
Oh.
There's no setback dice for you. It would just be 2 purple.
Okay.
So if you want to use your leadership
I
to
will
snap him out of it,
Snap him out of it.
okay? Are you gonna use any of those?
Are we gonna use any of?
Not, I might. And that's how I watch out a black boy and using them all.
Yeah, this is kind of important. I'll
Okay.
give you another one.
Besides, you have 2 humans who can steal 2 of them from me. You immediately feel your regal imperialness kick in. You can see panic in this.
I hate using that though.
Yes, but
Snap out of it, man!
but all of a sudden you
We've got to
realize,
save this lady!
obviously this young man has never been in the military, and this the mere fact of, oh crap. You still succeed, so this success and that success are taken out by those 2 failures.
Okay.
That advantage on this guy's taken out, so you have success and 2 advantage. So you basically, you break him out of it. You give him the stiff up on the lips.
I've got to take care of her. You gotta drive now. Drive here. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, and immediately he like does almost this breakneck turn because once you straighten his shit. I mean, you just throw it out there and he looks at you in the mirror and you give him the steely gaze. He's now a man now that he's gotten that look from you.
So now that I've got him settled, I'm going to try and heal her.
Okay, are you going to use medicine or medicine? As in magic.
I don't got no medicine.
Okay.
I'm gonna. She's gonna get better. She's gonna get better. She's gonna get better.
Oh, fate healing at its best. Do you need the section for using healing spells?
Okay, so that would be the roll. And really the first thing that I'm doing is I'm just gonna try and stop the bleeding so she doesn't get worse.
Okay.
So first aid? First aid?
Well, pseudo magic first aid. his secret magic will say, first you must suck out the poison. Oh wait, it's a bullet.
In between your thighs? If I must.
The things you do for king and country. Or in this case, czar and czar. So heal is on page 214 in the magic rules. It's divine and primal, which you got covered. Using healing magic, the additional effect listed should cover most of what you want. If you're not sure what the difficulty is, it's average, which in this case, yes, it is average. Yep. However, bringing back the dead is 4 purple. Maybe 5 purple if they don't want to come back. So that's good to know.
So, wait, but according to what the ether guy said, if they don't want to come back and you try and bring them back once, they can never come back again. So both of you win.
So she's passed out on your arms, and you see this puckered bullet wound in her thigh, pulsating away with blood. You feel her vital fluids leaving. You give her the magical kiss. While you plug the hole with your thumb, you give her a magical kiss. Nice roll. So you're going to take 2 strain for the spell.
Okay.
Then you're going to take 2 additional strain for the threat.
Okay.
Because this is the first time you've ever felt this kind of magic flow through you, unless it was the battlefield in the heat of war. And as all of a sudden you just feel that the wound stop bleeding at first, because all of a sudden your hand's getting super warm from the blood, and then all of a sudden the blood stops. And you look down, and the wound's puckered shut. And it's still horribly fresh pink, damage, but it's not bleeding and it's healed shut.
Did it spit the bullet out?
As slowly, yes, the bullet came out. As he's got his thumb in the wound, all of a sudden he moves his finger and realizes the bullet's sitting right there. As all of a sudden you get like, sir, you got the bullet out. Is she gonna live?
I think so.
That's the most amazing field medicine I've ever seen. You must have been a medic in the war.
Why is he watching the medicine
Watch the
happen?
road!
He rolled a triumph. He's that good. So all of a sudden, as you guys are pulling up, you notice that your airship is going down and the doors of the roof are clamping shut. And your airship kind of deflates a little as you're going into resting position. And immediately, 12 guys pounce on your engine and start pulling bolts and nuts off.
Under Mars supervision.
It's almost painful though to watch them stripping it down at first. You gotta
And
remind
making sure that they put it all into a specific area, so that I can.
Okay, you have a series of bins where you set up the parts.
Oh, yeah, I already had it
Okay,
all
so
planned.
you're ripping over you're getting a guy with flags waving off because this is a designated fly zone, and he's doing the whole whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Basically, he's causing a wake and a no-wake zone.
Yes, and then immediately goes, "Err," and right outside the hangar where they're parked, you feel gravel skidding on the bottom of the gondola as a dust cloud goes flying inside and the door kicks open practically on its own.
And
at that moment-
it was 100 for the balcony, I'm gonna give him 250.
As Hilda's eyes flutter open, as all of a sudden just the momentum snaps her head back and she flutters her eyes open and looks at you and says, "My darling."
Yes, what, my sweet?
And she kind of like looks around, not sure where she is. She does not recognize this gondola whatsoever. I'm in danger, and I need you to get me to. She looks again, and she gets distracted by the surroundings. I need to go to Casablanca.
Casablanca's within 2 days, isn't it? Oh.
Depends on how your captain flies. It would normally be like 3 days pushing it hard, maybe with the new engines, but depending on how your captain flies.
It could be 3 weeks because we could go be in Beijing.
Where is this newfound land that we landed in?
I was like, I didn't know they had snow leopards in Casablanca.
As
Color me surprised.
you have to get me out of town. And at that exact moment, her head just lulls back and she passes out, but not like bad pass out, more like she's overexcited and you have to loosen her bathrobe.
250, give it to him. You didn't see anything.
As you see
You
her
didn't
lift his
hear
mirror up
anything.
from where you were loosening her robes. I didn't see anything, sir.
You didn't hear anything.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, sir?
I come
Grab
out to
her.
see what the ruckus
As
is.
he takes the extra cash, puts it in his hat, puts his hat on. As you just
Great
see him
driving.
handing money to this guy with a woman in his
Who's
arms.
bleeding.
No, she's not bleeding.
Well,
But
it
she
looks
does have
like
a
she's
blood-soaked. Yeah, she does have a
She
blood-soaked
was
robe.
bleeding though. That's
Yeah.
a rope.
You were gone 10 minutes!
I work fast. I'll come more inside.
And some people are kind of looking at this as you're carrying her in your arms, but you're trying to look good doing this. Okay.
Gallant man helping wounded lady.
Yes. You're pulling it off. Nothing to
Yeah,
see
as we
here.
pass, I'm sure young man knows this, but he's just gotten a lot of money. Lay low.
No money, ma'am. And he lifts his hat. You see like a couple script underneath the hat. As he puts the little strap on his hat to make sure it doesn't blow off with his cash there. He immediately starts ripping off out of there. You're getting flag guys are like, get out of here! No, go that way.
Oh boy.
And go and give me a engineering roll.
Mechanics.
Yep, give me a mechanics
Okay,
roll.
this is for the
And you
engine
will
switch,
get a blue dice because you're getting to look at the engine schematics as they're putting the engine in.
and this is the engine
Against.
switch.
And it's that's to upgrade one of your dice. Or
I know,
make a
Yeah.
but this
declaration.
is for the engine roll, right?
Is this against 2 purple?
It was going to be against 2 purple, but he's touching one, and so I can't touch that one.
This is an upgrade on the ship. This is an important roll.
Okay, go for it. Because I was gonna upgrade just to see what would happen, but yep, it's gonna be against 2 purple. Says this is the roll for the engine swap out.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 3 successes.
3 successes. Basically, you come in carrying her, and this one is doing a great job on the little crane. So she's up above, giving everyone direction. She's pointing out to the head engineer how to do it, and he's like, "Wow, I never thought of doing it that way." Instead of lifting the ship, you're dropping the ship and turning it sideways and making it easier to pull the bottoms out. And
I try to
Grab and be
see
your
if
friend.
anyone has followed this really, like, the scooter.
Gorgeous wounded woman? Oh, the scooter.
Scooter.
okay, go ahead and give me a perception roll. It's going to be
Against two
against 2
purples?
purple.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. No, I have this. I need another purple.
She needs more purple. I stole some of her purple.
I will again not see the people not following you.
Wow, you're correct. You have 2 advantage. How would you like to use your 2 advantage? To look good while not seeing anything. As everyone keeps asking why the captain is doing the Captain Morgan stance.
Oh,
You know,
can
I-
I suggest that you actually get the name or something on that bubble car? Because if we're in Germany, I want to know who he is. And I
Okay.
was distracted.
Yeah.
If I could suggest something.
Okay, I will. I mean, he's gone already, so I will remember
But you can
what
catch-
his
you
cab
can- you
looks
can
like,
catch the
or
cabbie.
markings or whatever.
So you have
identification. I don't know if there's like a licensing thing or anything like
Yeah,
that.
there'll
This is
be-
Berlin. There probably is.
there is some kind of regulation that would have his personal telegraph, for ride telegraph such and such numbers.
He should lay low for a while. Hope he lays low for a while.
Okay, so as you're taking her into the ship,
To the medic lab. Oh,
gallantly kicking indoors while holding her form in your hands.
wounded.
Okay, so you lay her down on the medical table, and of course, her short little robe flips over, showing her now almost completely healed thigh with just a little pink circle where the bullet was, and your heart was almost stopped. As she just blinks her eyes and says, "My love, we must go to Casablanca." And she reaches out to you, but just as soon as you almost touch her, she passes. Because it's super dramatic.
Because it's super dramatic.
Because it's super dramatic. That, and all of a sudden you realize she keeps passing out, and you think it's more than just the wound and the
Like
exhaustion.
maybe poison or something.
Do you have medicine?
I have 3 green in medicine.
Well,
I
you're
have
busy.
4
You're busy
medicine,
directing.
but I'm coming back to the ship at this point because I want to know what the hell happened.
Go ahead.
Well,
Go
that
ahead
means
and
you're
give
on your
medicine
way
a try.
to visit
It's
him
gonna
and say,
be
what the
against
hell
3
happened?
purple.
It's like, what the hell happened?
You might as well give it a try. You never
You know, I'm
It's
going
narrative
to,
dice.
I'm gonna poke our doctor dude.
And he's like, doctor's not in.
Tough. Flick him on the septum.
And this is a knowledge thing, so I
Yeah.
can't make myself smarter.
Okay. But go for it. You never know what comes up. I mean, remember, it's not always a gimme that if you're
I mean, I can
negative.
throw, once I can't get the doctor roused, I do have 4 dice I can help him with.
Okay, do you wait till she comes to do
Yeah.
the, okay? So
But
she
I'm
comes in
following
there.
Oh, she
you.
has 4 greens.
Yeah, I'm following you, I'm kicking the doctor on the way in.
So you should
So
let
go
her roll.
ahead and yeah, let her
Cannot
roll.
rouse her with a sharp kick to the ankle or a flick on the septum. I'm gonna follow you.
So go ahead and give me a roll. You're gonna need 4 greens against 2 purples.
And are you assisting?
Oh, sorry, it's 3 purples. Yes, 3 purples.
So one of these I think is yours.
It would be one that looks like this. I think I already took it back from you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
'Cause I only
said come with 3?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because usually most
Oh, 3
things.
greens.
As I'm
3
taking
greens.
a look, does he tell me what happened?
Oh, wait, what did you say?
Yeah. I said, remember the letter? She was in trouble. I got to the site, she threw down a handkerchief, she was in trouble. I had the,
Right,
What?
okay, reader's
boom, bullet.
How long until the engine's ready to go, my love?
A few more hours.
Oh, shit.
I have no idea.
So 2 failures
yes.
and 4 advantages. So
The advantage is she knows what's wrong,
the advantages
the
I'll
failure
give
is
you
that we
that
don't have the way to fix it.
yeah that you realize it looks like she's been gassed. From what you're seeing when you're looking, you peel back the eyelids and you're like, she almost looks like she's in an opium haze. That's why you're using the advantages to get this, and you think she's been poison gassed, and that's why she's passing out relentlessly. And you see no bullet wounds. You see this cute little pink circle on her thigh where the
What,
blood
where the
is,
blood used to
but
be?
there's no bullet wound, which
Not even any scarring?
just a pink fresh flesh mark.
Okay, well, I'm presuming I've seen magical healing before, or at least heard of it.
You've
or-
never seen him do it before.
I don't care at this
Okay.
point.
So you
She's
believe
not bleeding,
you don't
that's
know
okay.
how, but you believe she's been gassed somehow. Not that you had the cure for it because that would require a success, but
But do I know what the cure is?
no, you don't. That's why you would have needed to succeed.
So I need to go kick the doctor again.
Okay. So do you tell him that she's been gassed?
Yeah,
So maybe now you can roll.
maybe like flap something in her face to get
So now,
clear.
something in her
so
face.
since you have basically she just gave you an advantage if you wanna roll medicine.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna go kick the doctor again.
And would it be only against 2 purple
No,
then?
no, it'd
since-
still be 3 purple.
3
It's not an easy
purple.
thing. That's why you want a
1
medical
blue.
professional.
Right, I'm gonna go kick him.
Okay?
Because at the very least, he just needs to tell us what to do.
So I'll give you 1 roll. I'm gonna turn one of those purple to a red, just because it's dramatic. As she's getting ready to bolt out the door to go get the actual doctor. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I kick him hard in his wibblies if
I've
I
already
need
done
to.
the magic once, so I can't do that again, correct?
Yep. Science!
Oh, shnikey.
Actually, he succeeds by 1 with
Oh.
3 threat.
So he knows what to do, we don't have it?
So you're worried about your lady love.
Paramore.
You
Gas.
immediately realize she's
When we
been
were in
gassed.
combat,
You remember back in the days when the mustard gas and the different types of gases, that you know the doctor's gotta have one in here. And immediately you turn around to get into his cabinets to open them up and grab he's gotta have a gas antidote in here.
right.
Immediately when you throw open the cabinets, something shifted in the airship at that exact moment. The crane must have been moving the airship. And all of a sudden a slide of beakers come falling out.
Oh no, are they full?
They're all full of something the doctor was working on. And as they're falling,
Athletics to catch them?
I'll
Even though
give
I
you
don't have
1
athletics?
athletics roll to try to catch it. It's gonna be against 3 purple because those flasks are falling fast. And can you catch all 3? She knows what they are. As you're like,
You know,
Phew.
we have one right one that we can put over to the,
I think Captain's insisting.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Okay.
well, because, you know.
As just as you look back, you see the vials falling, and you're running to go get the doctor.
No, I'm just gonna kick the doctor, because I can't get there in time.
Oh.
So this and this cancel.
Exactly.
correct?
The threats and the advantage take each other out.
So
You got one disadvantage,
I have
one threat.
one disadvantage, no failures, no successes.
Okay, so as she's she literally does this double take. She pulls away just as the vials go falling, so she doesn't know. Captain's running to go get the doctor. She flings the door open, kicks the doctor, and all of a sudden you see the vials coming out, and you're grabbing them, and you just do this whole whoop, and you just boshanoy as the vials go right through your grips,
Yeah,
and they're heading to the
You know, I'm
floor.
not trying to kick his head into Tennessee, but, you know, a sharp rap, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to try to, like, haul him bodily up.
Okay. Well, he's in his room, not in his lab.
Right.
So just about then, the doctor hears an explosion in the med bay.
Oh, dear God. In the med bay or in his lab?
In the med bay, because that's where they're in. He took him to medical.
Oh, okay.
As all of a sudden there's an explosion of chemicals. All of a sudden you're seeing like 2 or 3 different colors at once. You think it's probably just the rapport of the explosion. You're only going to take 2 damage.
Okay.
You believe your paramour is taking 2 damage. But you're at a black for anything you do in this smoke and the nasty coffiness.
Okay, so
And just then, that's a good place to wrap it up there. As smoke is just like wisping out of the med bay. As all of a sudden you kick the doctor and he wakes up like, what? And then explosion. My experiments! And that's a good place to wrap it up there. What a time for threats. The threats came out so threateningly.
But that was brilliant with the whole take the gondola up and
That was definitely good use of using the gondola to escape, especially when 2 despair